All right. Hello everyone and welcome. This is just a video I decided to do to just pretty much give my opinion. Is what's been going on lately. Things I've noticed just in this time frame. I know it's not like anything special. This channel is mainly just what I dream about, what my opinions are. It's not something like a lot of people should take serious. It's something that I feel like if you want to give it some serious thought, I feel like I would love that. I appreciated that very much. Just bounce opinions between each other and stuff like that. That's kind of the main objective for what I pretty much started this channel for. And just to see if maybe somebody has a different opinion about my dreams, or maybe, they notice something I don't notice while I'm, speaking about these dreams. But there's been a couple of dreams I've had. I haven't posted them. I probably should, and I'll give it some thought. But for today, I just wanted to go over what a lot of people were going over before, like the eclipse, which was the 3 days of darkness. And what I've noticed about the weather. I don't know if you guys have heard, like, I think it was a couple months ago before all this eclipse talk was going on, and it's what kind of jump started more people talking about the eclipse, which was April 8th, or in other words, yesterday, because today is April 9th for me, and I should get this out on the 9th because I have no reason to not just immediately post it, But a couple months ago, people were noticing that they were predicting 100% cloud weather. And from what I know, meteorologists and a couple scientists now that were like, this, how did, what? That doesn't make any sense. People were, in general, like, this doesn't make any sense. That's why they started looking into it and trying to get confirmation from like independent meteorologists and stuff. Like, there's no way they could 100% predict that there would be cloud coverage on a huge, widespread, view of the whole entire United States. Pretty much, it was like a huge majority, mainly on the areas where the eclipse path was going. And believe it or not, the 8th, that yesterday, pretty much, that's when the eclipse happened. Everybody was out there, or a couple people were out there, and what do you know? Lo and behold, there was literally clouds everywhere. At least where I was, there was just pure gray. It looked like just a blanket of like fog. Didn't even look like clouds because you couldn't see any clouds. It was just like gray, a gray sky pretty much. And that's why I was like, that looks more like a fog than it does clouds. It was just, you couldn't see anything moving. It was just pure blanket. And it seemed a lot of people were also noticing a couple things like that, but it seems like in, I guess, the actual total path, there was a couple people that were able to see the full version, like, of the eclipse, and see, like, kind of like at least what was going on. There was a couple that had maybe a cloud blocking it, kind of, but you could see through it enough to where you could see, oh, that's the eclipse. Look, it's happening. And a couple people got great shots of it, but where I was, there was just pure blanket clouds. And I was like, okay, that's fantastic, great. I don't get to see it. None of us over here gets to see it. So yeah, that was like, okay, well, how do I explain this? Yeah, ruined, hopes ruined. We don't get to see it, yay. Ah, man. And yeah, my family, like a couple that were in that are younger, they were in school and stuff, and they were like, yeah, we got glasses and everything, and we don't get to see it because it's not, it's cloudy. And I was like, dang, that sucks. But what I noticed though that day, it was like cloudy. It was supposed to be raining. I never saw rain. No rain. There was like 40% chance of rain, and then there was a couple chance, like, moments in like that day where it said 70%. It's like, oh, that's pretty high. No, it never rained. In fact, it was more misty as the day went on, and it was just wet. It was like, what? Why is it wet? Well, what's going on? Kind of like, it was just weird. Like, it didn't rain. There was no rain. Nothing fell down. There was actual no rain that made it, wet. So I was just like, that's weird. Okay, whatever. That was yesterday on the day of the eclipse, by the way. And I just noticed, yeah, it was dry, and then all of a sudden it's wet, and there was never any rain. And that's why I was like, that's odd, you know. Okay, sure, whatever. Uh, weirder stuff has happened, I guess. But moving on past that, I had noticed today, like it was still the same, and tomorrow it's expected to be the same. So right there, what do we notice right there? On the day of the eclipse, it's dark and cloudy. This next day, it's dark and cloudy. Tomorrow, it's supposed to be dark and cloudy. You see where I'm kind of going with this? It's weird, but if we kind of think about it in a metaphorical way, isn't this 3 days of darkness in a literal like weather phenomenon kind of weird way? Because one, there's no sun, we can't see the sun, like it's bright ish outside, but you don't see the sun, you don't see any sunlight rays, you know, like how a sunny day would be. No, this is just dark. It's a dark day. It's literally cloudy all day. The clouds have not moved, by the way, and that's what I've kind of been noticing with this weather pattern apparently of these 3 days lately is yeah, you look on the actual radar, what do you see? No clouds. What do you see on the prediction radar though? A huge fucking storm, excuse my language, a huge storm that is supposed to be right over us on the whole, like pretty much on the entire state, if not, you know, our state at least, or half of it, you know. And it was on the upper part. The thing about it is today I've noticed there was actually a storm coming from the lower area on the radar, from the lower half, and it covered up half the state diagonally from left to right, you know, diagonally going that way, just that way. And it eventually stayed there, weirdly enough, and then it kind of drifted off down to the lower right, which so it kind of went up to us on our state, then it went down. And I thought that was kind of weird, you know, and that's strange. But again, the prediction radar had a storm on the upper top section, this huge storm that was just in the middle of our state to the upper top section, and that's where they predicted the thing, and I think it's still there, and the radar now is showing it's clear. But okay, it's clear. What is the reason for there being clouds and just be pure darkness, you know, of weather, dark, gloomy, cloudy weather, when there's not a single storm or anything like that on the radar, the actual radar, showing anything, the weather radar? I have no idea. Like I said, yesterday it was clear pretty much. Today, that storm kind of came by, but that was it. It went away, and tomorrow it's supposed to, you know, still be cloudy and raining, you know, or whatever. Which like I said, I didn't really even notice any rain. Today, I did notice it kind of sprinkled, but it was or like more of a mist, you know, like when I went out, I think earlier today it was more of a mist, like you know, like kind of like just a mist. You know how you go through, like if you've ever been to a zoo and you know how they have the like the fence and there's like water coming out, like mist of water. It was more like that, the misty weather, you know. And that's exactly how it was. I was like, oh, that's weird. Okay, maybe that's what they meant by rain. No, they probably didn't. You know, that is just strange. But eventually it did sprinkle to a small degree, but it was very light. Not even like, not a light rain shower or anything. It was very little to a sprinkle. Maybe less than a sprinkle, if I could explain it right. Like you feel maybe a little small droplet here and there, and yeah, it was just strange. It was like, okay, that's that. I guess that's rain, you know. But today it's had several times where it's been 50% to 70%. Yesterday there was like I said, there was a chance of 70%, but today it's been majority 50 to 70, high 70% chance of rain throughout today, and there hasn't been any rain. In fact, right now it says like it's supposed to be 66%, and like again 50, 50, 50 later on tonight. It's or in the morning, early tomorrow. You know, kind of early tomorrow morning ish. During nighttime, it's supposed to be 75% for a couple hours. Like there should be rain, but there's not. And I do see a small on the radar. There is some rain clouds that look like they're kind of coming our way. But again, why is it dark and cloudy continuously for these 3 days when there's no clouds, you know? Why is the storm barely coming in and it's just pure cloudy, dark, gray, you know, clouds all day? It makes no sense, you know? And the hugest thing I noticed was that I noticed today, at least, because I wasn't really paying attention yesterday to it, but today it was 100% humidity. I know maybe in other places 100%, oh, it's nothing, but here it's kind of like, what? That's kind of odd. It's it's odd in the sense that it's not something that's very common, you know? And like humidity would be in other states that are more humid. Where I am, no, there's no 100%. Oh yeah, it's rainy, it's cloudy, 100%. You know, like no, what? That makes zero sense sometimes, you know? The other thing is it's like 3 mph, you know, miles per hour of wind speeds, right? In fact, it's been like this. That's the accurate one, right? That's been today, at least for quite a while. And the prediction on like, you know, with these percentages of the rain and stuff, it's been saying it's like 15 miles per hour to 20 miles per hour later on tonight and stuff, like highs of 20 miles per hour, 15 miles per hour, and it has not reached that high at all. I don't know if like they're going off of something different or what, but you see the what I mean? Like it's just strange prediction weather that's not actually happening. And what I'm seeing and what I'm noticing, you know, there's no rain, there's just dark, gloomy weather, ish, I should say, and it's just strange things like that, you know. But the point was, coincidentally, I noticed it was 3 days. For 3 days, right after the or during the day of the eclipse and after, you know, that totals up to 3 days. And that's why I was like, hold on. I just kind of clicked with looking at everything. Isn't this kind of metaphorically, in a sense, 3 days of darkness, if you want to go that way? Did we like notice the people kind of like think of this like, oh yeah, something's gonna happen, this is gonna, you know, and then we just overthought it in a different sense, you know, that, oh, 3 days of darkness, what if it just means 3 days of darkness, not in the like literal nighttime sense, but like in the sense that there is no sun visible to us, or a majority of us that have probably were in the or around the area of the eclipse, you know, path. And that's what I kind of just realized, you know. What if that was kind of like a metaphor in a sense? Because they were just saying nobody was moving around, nobody was getting around really. What if it meant something like this? Like, who goes out really in weather like that seems bad, right? And dark, gloomy weather. A lot of people just stay indoors, right? Because they don't want to get wet, or they don't want to, or they feel like, oh, you know, I'd rather avoid going out in this weather that looks not good. What if it starts getting bad? They're predicting bad weather. Like I said, they were saying they predicted 20-mile-per-hour winds. It's 3 miles per hour. It's a big difference, right? But if you're seeing this prediction, like, oh, we're gonna have storms, a huge storm for 3 days straight, you know, like bad weather, you know, blah blah blah, you're gonna most likely stay in or prepare to stay in, because you're not gonna go out, because well, a lot of people would probably stay in, you know, because of bad weather. You know, they're not gonna go outside and barbecue. They're not gonna, you know, do all this stuff. Maybe a rare few will. You know, I know some of us in the family, we would probably do that, even if we, you know, didn't see that they was sunny. You know, we would, if we're having a good time and we planned it, you know, we're gonna do it. You know, but a lot of people don't, right? Because they see bad weather, and it's just something. Like I said, I've noticed. This is something maybe you've noticed. I don't know if you're in a different place, you know, what state you're, where you're at, but this is just something I have seen, what I've seen on the radar, the actual current radar, the pattern, the weather pattern radar, and what they have been predicting, and still they haven't changed really much. They're saying it's just a storm here, and there's no storm, you know, just a couple maybe rain clouds coming by, but you don't see any rain. And that was the whole point of this video, pretty much, is like, I've noticed this stuff. I don't know if anybody else has noticed this stuff. Is it technically, could it be a metaphorical or a realistic version of the 3 days of darkness that people are saying, and people have just not noticed it, but maybe a couple people, you know. Like I said, I kind of just realized this off the top of my head. Like I was just looking at the weather, looking at all this stuff, and I'm like, huh, that's weird. Since yesterday, I was like, huh, why is this like this? Why is this doing this? You know, it was just stuff like that, you know. And it was just strange to me for the longest time. I was just telling people, why is the weather like this? Why is it dark and gloomy when there's no rain? Why is it showing that there's no rain, but it's dark and gloomy and cloudy? Like it would be in a storm, but the clouds don't look like clouds. They look like a fog just up there in the sky, you know? And it was just, oh man, it was just getting to me for a little bit. Like I was just like, huh, this is strange. And then when I seen that 100% humidity, I was like, what? It doesn't feel like 100% humidity, you know? It does feel a little humid, you know, but not that high. And that's what I found strange. And maybe that has something to do with how the weather is, because they're saying it's 100% humidity. You know, maybe that's got something to do with how things are and why it's not actually raining properly, if how it's supposed to be or something. I have no idea. I don't know how the weather really works, you know? Not to some high fancy degree. I don't know, at least, you know? But I was just curious, wanted to know people's thoughts. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe I'm not. Hey, who knows? I'll go off maybe another day when I decide to. Maybe I'll do it right after. I don't know. I'll talk about a dream I had, which was completely different. It was before all this, the eclipse, you know. It was like last month or something. Maybe earlier this month, I want to say. It was one of those 2 days, and it was just unique because it was four. I was seeing 444 everywhere, and I'll like I said, I'll explain it more in that dream. But a couple things I noticed, you know, that were very unique to that dream and what I noticed and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that's it. That's all I really had on my thoughts. What do you think? Well, is it? Am I just overthinking it? Am I just noticing something? Maybe it's just huge weird weather, you know. I kind of don't think that anymore when, you know, everybody's been saying it's impossible to predict 100% rain, like cloud coverage on a day of the eclipse months in advance, you know. That was a weird part, and it actually did happen, you know. And like I said, the clouds don't look normal, like normal rain clouds, and the radar stuff again. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you guys can look it up. Maybe you've seen some of the older. Maybe there's somebody who's done some weather like radar stuff showing, you know, on the U.S. or something. You know, maybe they have live footage from yesterday, you know, of the day of the eclipse today, and maybe tomorrow. You know, whenever you find this, maybe you can look at that and see if anything matches up, or why it's so cloudy over here. You know. Like, or where you're at, maybe you're experiencing the same thing, because I don't know where everybody's at, you know, and maybe you're experiencing something different, you know. Who knows? Maybe it's just cloudy in your area, you know. Maybe it's just odd, you know. Maybe you're having a different weather phenomenons, you know. But yeah, give me your opinion. Tell me what you think. I'm always welcome anybody's opinion and thoughts and everything like that. This was just, like I said, something I wanted to just get off and, you know, share my opinion of, you know, because it's just something I had noticed. But yeah, that's it. Hopefully you guys have a good day, and whenever we chat next stream or next opinion, you know, yeah, later. Until then.